All right, this is chapter 4, lesson 2, relations. Okay, and we're going to start on page 82. Okay, so I've got this graph here. So I'm going to go ahead and label what some of the things are. Some of it you should already kind of know and be familiar with. Okay, so this top one up here, this is the origin. This quadrant is quadrant 1, and then over here is quadrant 2. Okay, I can label this point here looking at the x and the y. So the x is -4, the y is 3, so it's -4, 3. This is pointing to the x-axis. Okay. Down here on the bottom, this is quadrant 3, quadrant 4, and then this down here is pointing to the y-axis. Okay. So, relations. A blank is any set of ordered pairs. Relations can be represented as a table and as a graph. So, in that blank, okay, so in this first blank, you're going to write relation. So a relation is any set of ordered pairs. Relations can be represented as a table and as a graph. The blank of the relation is the set of the x-coordinates. So that's the domain. And the blank of the relation is the set of y-coordinates. That's the range. So domain is x, range is y. Okay. So again, I can write relations as ordered pairs. I can put them in tables, or I can graph them. Okay. So let's look at some examples. Okay. So example number 1 says express the relation 2, 6, -4, -8, -3, 6, 0, -4 as a table and a graph. Then state the domain and range. So I'm going to place the ordered pairs in a table with the x-coordinates in the first column and the y-coordinates in the second column. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Then I'm going to graph those ordered pairs. Again, straightforward. Remember, go x's and then y's. Okay. Got to run before you fly. So the domain is all the x values that I had. -4, -3, 0, and 2, and the range is all of my y values that I had. You don't have to repeat any of the values, okay? So -8, -4, and 6. So notice there's 3 numbers here and 4 here, but in the original numbers I gave, I had 6 twice. So I only have to list 6 one time for the range. Okay. Number 2, it says it costs $3 per hour to park at the Wildwood Amusement Park. So letter A says make a table of ordered pairs in which the x-coordinates represent the hours and the y-coordinates represent the total cost for 3, 4, 5, and 6 hours. Okay, so if it costs $3 to park per hour, 3 times 3 gives me 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 6 is 18. Okay. So 1 hour would be $3, 2 hours would be $6, so on and so forth. That's where I get these y values from. Okay. And then I graph the points. Now, on page 83, there are a couple of try it problems. I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try them out, and once you are done, we will go over the answers together. Okay. So now that you've had a chance to look at these and try them out, let's go over the answers together.
All right, so letter A says express the relation -5, 2, 3, -1, 6, 2, 1, 7 as a table on the graph. Then state the domain and range. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is look at the points they gave me. Remember, your first point are your x's. And the second point is the y's. Okay. So I have -5, 1, 3, 6, and I just put them in order by their x values. You don't have to do that. Just make sure when you do that, if you do that, that you match up the appropriate points. So the first point is -5, 2. So I go over -5, up to 2, make a dot, go over to 1, up to 7, make a dot, go over to 3, down to -1, make a dot, and go over to 6, go up to 2, make a dot. Okay. My domain are my x values. Okay. So -5, 1, 3, and 6. And then my range are my y values. So I already have 2 twice, so I don't need it both times. So I have -1, 2, and 7. And I put them in numerical order. Again, you don't have to, but that's typically how they're written. Okay. Letter B says a movie rental store charges $3.95 per movie rental. Make a table of ordered pairs in which the x coordinates represent the number of movies rented and the y coordinates represent the total cost for 1, 2, 3, or 4 movies. Graph the ordered pairs. So I'm going to go ahead and make my table. My x, y table. So x represents the number of movies rented, and y represents the total cost. Okay, so if x is I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they asked for 1, 2, 3, or 4 movies. Okay, for one movie, it's going to be $3.95. For 2 movies, it's $7.90. For 3 movies, it's $11.85. And for 4 movies, it's $15.80. Okay, so on my graph over here, my x is number of movies rented, and my y is my total cost. Okay, so I have 1, $3.95, 2, $7.90, 3, $11.85, 4, $15.80. you can see that this is a linear relationship. They are going in a line. And that is the end of lesson 2.